Now, I used to hang out.
Who? Who?
Makes sense.
All right, right. But listen.
They've got so much rubbish in their head. It's so confusing.
Yeah, but Victor, the Catholic faith is established by Christ, who is God. You just follow the Catholic faith. That's it. Don't worry about anybody else who's got their man-made religion. The Catholic faith involves all kinds of material assistance to people and spiritual assistance to them, and believing the truths that are handed down from the apostles. Now, you've got to grow closer to God within the church. It's the only real way to do that. And then you're making yourself fit for salvation. But don't worry about other people, what Protestants are saying or doing, doesn't matter. What are you up to is the question. And you seem to be kind of in this area where you're saying, well, the born-again Christians don't impress me, so I don't have to be like them. Maybe some other group doesn't impress you, so you don't have to be like them. You're in like a grey area where you don't have to commit yourself. Am I right?
I'm not committing myself to human beings.
No, I never said that. I said commit yourself to Christ and the church, established by Christ, the Catholic Church.
I believe in God.
What God is that? Allah?
Let me finish. I believe in God. Sincerely. I'm not perfect. I do crazy things, I do stupid things, I do whatever. But I know side by heart, I said, God is with me. Because all those years ago, I could have, you know, all those years ago, I could have been dead by now.
But you're going off the point a little bit. Which God do you believe in? Is that the Holy Trinity or something else? There you see. Now, the Catholic Church teaches that God is a Trinity. If you don't believe that, where do you get your belief in your God of? Where do you get your belief that the Holy Trinity is false?
Well, in terms of Trinity.
No, when I said Holy Trinity, you said what? Like you didn't believe in the Holy Trinity. So why do you not believe in the Holy Trinity?
Because I don't understand it, that's why.
Okay, so why don't you understand it having reached middle age?
I don't know, perhaps I've been brainwashed.
No, it's because, well, possibly, but you haven't chosen to go and find out. And you can easily find out. You can get the Catechism of the Catholic Church free online, cheap as a book, and you can find these things out. But you're, I think, staying in a grey zone where you don't have to commit. And you say you believe in God, which is a very vague statement, because most British people say they believe in God, but they subscribe to all the things that they are brainwashed to believe through the television set.
I don't have a television.
They do, the majority of the British. You get your brainwashing through other means, but the fundamental thing is you're not committing. You have a vague belief in God, so you don't have to commit yourself to the demands that God makes. And you also have a vague view of God, which is actually undermined because it's not got a clear source. Like, what God? I said Allah, I said. Well, you know, I would say tongue-in-cheek, but you've got to find a faith which tells you what God is. Otherwise, you might as well believe in gods, not just one God.
I believe in the God that I came to know when I was 16 years old.
But even though you came to believe in this entity when you were a boy, doesn't make it true, does it?
All the things, when I look back, yeah, that wasn't just pure luck. That wasn't just pure coincidence that this should happen.
So Hindu, there are 16-year-old Hindus all over India, I'm sure. No, but they've come to their beliefs and they will go to their pagan shrines and they say, oh, I came to strong belief in this when I was 16. So a kind of belief born of an experience can't give you knowledge of the truth. Otherwise, all these people all over the world in these completely un-Christian environments where they don't know the God in which you say you believe, they would come to the belief in that God in whom you say you believe.
I believe God in the Bible. Not a read or anything.
Okay, the God of the Bible.
Okay,
The entire Bible, Old and New Testaments.
No, there's
Okay, Old Testament then. All
I
right.
don't go into the New Testament.
Okay, so fine. Just the Old Testament then.
But I'm not that type of person to judge someone because they believe in it. But the problems I have is where they tend to judge me more, and I think I don't like.
Yeah. Now that's an emotional response. None of us likes that. None of us does. It's human to not want to be judged by other people. But actually, the Bible does talk about how you should actually take advice from a wise man. Better to be slapped somewhere.
Okay.
So better to be slapped by a wise man than to be given sweet words by a stupid man. So don't think about I don't like being judged. Think about what the person is saying.
The situation was different,
Yeah.
right? And there was no, I'm not saying because you're standing here. If a Catholic priest was standing here right now,
Yeah.
and I was and he came over to me, which sometimes he said, can I talk to you privately? I would go, listen, this needs to go. This needs to go. I'm not judging you and everything needs to go. Good. And I probably will do it the next day, get them all cleaned up and put, well, I'll probably get the curse. No, I was listen to him and listen to some born again Christians.
That's fine, but again, that is like it's a good response if you believe the Catholic priest is appointed by a bishop who is one of the successors of the apostles, who were appointed by Jesus, who is God. That's a good reason to listen to the priest and not to the born again Christian. What is not a good reason is that you find these born again Christians irritating, judgmental, harsh, and men who are no better than you. Those are emotional reasons, and they're not going to lead you into the truth. You need to find good, solid, non-emotional reasons, rational reasons for choosing the Catholic priest over these fellas called born again Christians.
I'd
Rather.
listen to a Catholic priest and listen to some upstart that's just saying, boom, I'm born again.
Well, there's sense in that, because a person who's just become a born again Christian will probably know next to nothing, whereas a priest will have had a lot of training. So logically, you should listen to the priest in that case. All other things being equal,